Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful. This is the news review segment, and over here we get to share our thoughts on news making headlines, especially here in Ghana. And so you have the opportunity wherever you are, whether in Nigeria, in Kenya, to have a peep and to hear what's happening on the local scene here in Ghana. And so we are going to bring Ghana to your doorstep today. Just as always, today is Tuesday, and so we're expecting that two gentlemen join us. One is Doctor, but I just want one for the benefit of the show. So Dr. Justice Apia Kubi is a development expert and also the Dean for Dominion Theological Seminary. And he joins us here. Good morning, and thank you very much for your time.
Good morning, Tuko.
Absolutely. And also joining us, he's not able to come today. He's listening in and will be speaking in via phone, not via Zoom. Would have loved to see his handsome face today. Reverend Nanaya Bafo Bonnie is an architect by profession, of course, by calling, pastor with the Eagles Network International Ministries. If you can hear me, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Right. You know, I've always had some issues with them, so I would have loved to see your face. But it's fine. We can manage that for today.
His picture is very handsome.
Yeah, his picture is also handsome. All right, sure. We can manage that. But happy Father's Day to you, Doc.
Thank you.
How did they celebrate it for you?
Yes, the church did something.
Oh.
Normally in our church, the Father's Day, the Mother's Day, the fathers handle everything, and the Mother's Day, the mothers handle everything. So yesterday, Sunday, the mothers they did quite well, unlike us, the men.
Oh, they did better.
Yeah, they did better because we were just sick and tired of always men's Father's Day is always nothing much is happening.
Yeah.
So we decided to show them some pepper.
Yeah.
So they realized that no, they need to do better.
Okay.
And my wife's supposed to preach, but she made me preach.
Okay.
Because I thought that I have some revelation for the Father's Day.
For the Father's Day.
Because you know they always will talk about the prodigal son. Mm-hmm. I decided to talk about the father. Mm-hmm. His sorrow, his sadness, his sensitivity, and his sensibility.
Oh, I see the 4 S's.
Yeah, it was something.
The 4 S's.
The father was sorrowful the fact that he's still alive and the child is coming.
Yes.
And he was sad the fact that the son, every day he'll be looking over his shoulders, waiting for the son to be coming.
That's
and he's
right.
not coming.
That's right.
And he was sensitive enough to see him very far.
That's right.
And yet was able to go and he was sensible enough to let the older son know that the fact that I brought your younger brother doesn't necessarily mean that those properties belong to him. Those properties belong to you always.
That's right.
So that was the message.
Wow. I would have loved to sit under that illustration. Thank you.
Normally, that's how I pray though. If I use B, it's only B. S,
Oh,
it's only
I
S.
see. It stinks. It stinks. You're a good teacher then. You are.
Gradually.
Anyways, lots has been happening on the local scene. Yesterday, the vetting of the justices began. Justices of the Supreme Court began. We saw 3 of them vetted yesterday. All 3. We saw very revered justices also present there. I think we'll talk about that later on. But let's start off with the very first story here. Oforiatta's cancer surgery successful. That's according to the wife. Former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta has undergone successful surgery for prostate cancer at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. His family has confirmed in a statement issued by his wife, Professor Mrs. Angela Oforiatta, on Monday, June 16th. She disclosed that the surgery, robotic-assisted radical, took, that word is heavy, prostatectomy took place on Friday, June 13, and lasted over 4 hours. The doctors are pleased with how the procedure went and will now place him on some regime. So they said that he'll be back very soon, especially after the doctors declare him fit and well. If you can hear me, let me start off with you, Reverend, and I are baffled body. Good news, right?
It depends on what you mean by good news. But let me commend Doctor for his poetic ability in how he put together that wonderful sermon. You know, I think after his presentation, the only thing that was left was an offering.
Was an offering.
The offering.
Yes.
What the word comes for partly like that, you need to take a seat and lay it at the foot of the man of God.
That's right.
So Doc, please ensure you take that money from Coco before you use it.
I will.
And DNA too. DNA
I will.
But to the issue, I think that it is good news to the extent that Mr. Kenoforiata is alive and well, and that the surgery was successful. But it is bad news in the sense that now there is no excuse for him to be outside of the jurisdiction. So that's something. It depends on who is really analyzing the good news, because I think his family is very happy he's alive, he's well, he's not dead, he's strong. But I think on the flip side, the whole family also will be panicking, because it means now that he's well. And post-surgery recovery is not something that you need such a very long time. Especially my understanding of this particular procedure is that oftentimes it's a very non-invasive type of surgery. When you see robotics and things involved, it means that there is very little cutting and incision. So they are using technology to really go in there and then solve the problem. And it's quite a very expensive procedure anyway. So we thank the Lord that our former finance minister, is alive, that he has made it successful. We thank the Lord that the Interpol can now go and escort him nicely and bring him to Kotoka International Airport. And then OSP and the other bodies also can successfully have him for interrogation, taking up his statements and so on, so that he can also clear his name. That's what I'm saying. The good news depends on how you look at it, because if really he's absolutely innocent, it's even a double good news for him, because not only has he survived, but he has an opportunity to also clear his name and then be able to have a good record going forward. So we thank the Lord ultimately that Honorable Kenoforiata has been able to go through the process. And I think the wife, because I didn't know the wife was a professor. I mean, she said that, he has always been available for interrogation. He was not running away from justice. So that settles the matter, and we can now look forward to a showdown by the grace of the Most High God.
Very well. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Good morning to Asofo. I thought he is going to be here.
Yeah. We all thought he was.
It has been awesome, because he would have collected the offering.
Yes.
For sure for us.
Well, it's true.
Yeah. For when I heard, in fact, I listened to the woman's interview yesterday, and she sounded positive. She sounded like as we were saying, the operation went well. Had experienced a family member or my late wife having cancer, and I know what goes in and all that, and the family, the trauma and everything. I've been in what do you call this one? A surgery room where, in fact, initially I was actually taking my wife to the same hospital.
Oh, Mayo Clinic.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Minnesota. My head pastor, he just passed away this year.
Oh, I see.
Reverend Rickin is from Minneapolis.
Okay.
And Minnesota. So we're working on some things, and it didn't work, and she passed away in the Philippines. We know that it's very expensive. I mean, ridiculously expensive. And using robotics, wow. It takes a former financial minister from Ghana to be able to do that. But congratulations to them.
Yeah.
We wish him a speedy recovery. Yesterday it was interesting that his wife was also quoting scripture. And I said, hey, that scripture thing is in the family.
Oh, I see. Interesting. I didn't hear the interview actually.
So we are glad. And just like Rev was saying, that we wish them well. We hope and pray that he recover very fast. Well, he was the one who said that she was the one who said that the surgery went very well. If the surgery went very well, then we are looking forward to seeing him in Ghana, because he needs to come and clear his name. He is innocent until proven guilty, even though some of us still feel that if it doesn't go in the way that we wish, because we think, at least me, I think that some of these people have really chopped our money, and we need to get our money. That's what I think. I might be wrong. I'm not. It's unfair for me to sit here and say that, but I also can't hide my feeling that we thought that some of the things that they did, we really suspect something fishy. But he can come. The law is there and clear his name, and just like General Mosquito was also saying the other this thing, sister station, that we are also watching the legal people. We hope that they will not make it hanky-panky and just let the whole thing just die as if that they... No, we are watching them. We are watching both the prosecutors. We are watching also the what do you call this one? Kuneforiata and his family.
Yeah.
It looks like what we thought that they were not showing good faith. Maybe it might be something like that, but maybe the way they went about the whole thing, that made us felt like they were a little bit arrogant. They think that, but it's sickness.
Yeah.
And as I said, for me, I've been through that as a family member, and so I can understand.
Right.
I can understand. But we need our money.
Absolutely.
It doesn't change the fact that
Right.
we need our money.
Right. Well, wherever our monies are, we pray that we are able to get our monies intact and with interest as well, and people also punished for doing same, because there are all kinds of investment avenues that they could invest their monies into and all of that. And so we need our monies. Let's go to the next story, shall we? The 2025 Basic Education Certificate Examination is in focus. Candidates allegedly locked up by headmaster over unpaid fees. Two candidates taking part in the ongoing Basic Education Certificate Examination, BC, were reportedly denied the opportunity to write the first paper, mathematics, after being allegedly blocked in a room by their headmaster. The students who attend Big Six International School in Meduma were expected to write the exam at Sims High School in Fawade or something. Dear is there? Because it's just DE. Okay. Okay. The approved center for candidates in the Kwabre.
Fawade means pick your own.
Yes, I know, but I saw Fawade. So dear would have been with the
Then it be Fawade.
Okay, Fawade probably. In the Kwabre East municipality of the Ashanti region. According to the reports, the headmaster of the private school allegedly confined the two students for their failure to settle outstanding school fees. As a result, they missed the first paper of the nationwide examination. Reverend Anayao, if you can't hear me, your thoughts.
I can hear you. I can hear you very well.
Right.
I think that, I think this particular head teacher or whatever his name is, he must be dealt with. Because if these children were his biological children, I don't think that you would do that. There's nowhere in the GES rules that says you can buy a student for writing exams. Once they have duly registered and paid the examination registration fee, you cannot do that. Normally, what is rather done is that official results are withheld. You may be able to check online the official slip that is deposited with the schools. They withhold it because you need it for future reference. You know what I'm saying? So they withhold it as if you are paid up arrears. But you cannot by the wildest stretch of imagination prevent any child from doing that. I don't know whether BC has research. I've said they are doing research anywhere. So it tells you that it's a one chance thing, and when you do not give them the opportunity, you really mess up with their lives and their future. I don't think that this headmaster did well, and I think that the matter must be interrogated. If he's truly culpable, like they are saying, he must be given some punitive adjustment. There must be a reset in his head, And then secondarily, I think that if the wire can look into this matter closely and possibly even allow that particular school to retake the paper. It will be a different exam altogether because it's a special case and we do not have to arrange it. We can make it and then see how it pans out for them. It is very unfortunate that after 9 years of basic education, lower primary, upper primary, GHS, you come to this very point where, your dreams are aborted because of the indiscretion and the poor judgment of the head of the school. So that's my submission on that.
I see. Sir?
Yeah, just like Rev was saying, what the headmaster did was very bad. Nobody would allow his or her child to be treated the way he did. And I'm really hoping and praying that the school, the GES, will do something about it. And my biggest concern is that now that he didn't allow him to write, so what is next? Because now they are moving on. So let's say if I don't know what subject they did, I didn't track to find out what subject they did yesterday. If it's a course subject, then it's a problem. And I'm not sure if GS are going to waive that subject for him to be able to pass it, maybe at least get credit, or they will let him write the exam, because now what has happened has already happened. He had put the guy, locked him up, and now the exams is finished. Even if you punish, so we are thinking only about actually the headmaster, which is great. But what about the child? Now the exams is ongoing. He will be writing, but the one that he didn't write, what's GS going to do? Your guess is as good as mine. But I really think that the government must do something for the boy. They seriously must, because it's not fair. And it's a clear rule. Do you know that even in university, you cannot do like that? Yeah, I know some private universities do it, but no, you cannot do it. When there's exams, you cannot allow the child, you cannot stop the child to write or the student to write. But as Rev was saying, when the exams is done, the results can be withheld, something like that. So I'm actually thinking much more even for the boy, for the headmaster. He needs to get whatever he needs to get. He has sown a seed and he's going to reap. But for the child, I really think that this thing can't truncate his future, because if it's a core subject or something serious, it's going to affect his overall this thing, and he might not be able to get opportunity to go to university, to go to SS. And I'm praying that they will do something about it.
Okay, so let's head to the next story now. The Civil and Local Government Staff Association Ghana, CLOSAG, has directed all staff of BEPS and DEPS registry nationwide to stay at home starting Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, citing an increasingly hostile work environment under the acting registrar, Mr. Samuel Adom Boche, in a letter dated 12/2025, addressed to the Minister of Labour, Jobs and Employment, and copied to key government offices, including the Office of the Head of Civil Service and the Office of the Head of Local Government Service. CLOSAG alleged continued misconduct by Mr. Boche, despite earlier petitions and negotiations aimed at resolving the leadership crisis at the registry. According to CLOSAG, Mr. Boche has been acting irresponsibly by unilaterally posting and reassigning staff across the civil and local government services without proper authority. The letter also accuses him of verbally assaulting staff and creating what the association describes as an uncongenial atmosphere at the workplace through constant threats. These actions have rendered the working environment unsafe and intolerable, the association said in the statement signed by the Executive Secretary, Isaac Bampo Addo. Anyways, Reverend Anayao.
Koku, I'm sure this is the same given that his appointment was met with the same uproar.
Yes.
If you remember, that he was a politically exposed person and should not have a place in the public service.
Yes.
And I would have thought that with that hindsight, he would have treaded even more cautiously. But again, you see what happens. People now try to revamp a system to make sure that they can get the dissenting views and voices out of the way so that they can concentrate on the business of the day. I'm sure the motivation is very right, that maybe these people are saboteurs. They could potentially get in the way of what I want to do. So I would want to meet them and then work with those that I believe have confidence in my leadership and all that. But I have worked in public service and a state-owned organization before. You see, there's a lot of very funny politics going on there. You see, and what I've seen is that those who have wanted to do that have always used years and that. Yeah, you will mess up. Two approaches. Number one is that you can build an inner circle around yourself of staff that you have recruited with the permission of your sector minister that work closely with you, and then you maintain them. Or you find a way of being able to befriend the so-called movers and shakers in the system who can potentially undermine, and then find a way of smoking the peace pipe with them and working with them. But when you move people around and those sort of, because I think yesterday I saw a similar letter also on social media circulating about the chief executive of, I think, MIIF. I don't know whether you heard of that. I think they also were into some serious making of money from gold and trading for the government. That they're also having a challenge with the new CEO of this state of moving people around. If the people guard use their positions in public office, so they are very likely. And oftentimes, Ghana is not the most important thing on their mind. And for them, it represents something more than what you will see with a cursory look. So if you don't tread very cautiously, you can be in trouble. I remember my naive days in public sectors where I was trying to do things like that. And some, well-advanced people in age, especially my regional boss, called me and advised me that some of the people you are dealing with that come with the baggage of their age, how long they've been around, their exposure, people they do, and they even feel you deserve to be where you were. Because I was made a regional head of architecture for the whole Great Qatar region just after my national service. Because everybody who was my senior left in succession just after that. So it was like, I'm head of, how can a national service person start and is literally in charge of the whole Great Qatar region architecture unit. So already times were working. So when my boss, gave me that light, I just began to, even when I'm chairing side meetings, I even allow them to have a go first to talk. What do you think? What are your thoughts? And they're so very, some will say in our local language, Nana, how is it? Tell me that, you're fine. In me, I won't tell me. And he didn't know that I'd been advised and I changed my game plan. So I think that some of these things stem from the experience and all that. And I feel if the head of the best and best department can quickly move, and engage the power brokers and some of these guys that hold way, use and influences. I'm sure we'll be able to still through in this matter. In fact, some of the people fighting will end up becoming some of the vociferous defenders and supporters. You'll be very surprised. So I think that we should get the necessary insights and learn. It's all about really learning how to manage people and their egos, really.
Reverend Anaya, is it not the case that we've just heard also from one side? Remember that this is an embattled, head of CLOSAG, who indeed from the very outset started by issuing that displeasure and misgiving about his appointment, Mr. Botche's appointment. So what it could mean also is that because we have not heard from Mr. Botche, this is just a lopsided, it will be lopsided to just say that it's probably his fault. Also, we know that when power changes hands, there are quite a number of transfers that are made. And clearly so, it was done 4 years ago, was done 8 years ago and all of that. So why would you want to just hear from Mr. Bampo and say it's probably the case? I think that would be truly unfair. What do you think?
Well, the truth is this, first and foremost, going up as an individual against CLOSAC, which is a national unified body, it's almost like swimming against the tide. That's why I'm saying that there's a way you engage. Look, Honorable Kujito Ablakwa has done similar things at his place, right? Even closing down whole consulate And you have not seen anybody rising up in arms against them. It's because it comes with a certain kind of specification in how you deal with this. Your who has done a lot of transfers as he took over as IGP. You've not heard that the army is gone into uproar. You hear the police have gone into uproar when Omanebo Ahmed's new CDS, they had to send home some senior generals because this new one appointed was lower in rank and it would create a command issue. There has not been any uproar in the region. What I'm saying is that across the nation, what you are seeing is happening. Why that seeming peaceful transition? It's not just because there was an uproar in the person coming to take the seat. But what I'm saying is that even when such an uproar has occurred, it means that you must step up your game when it comes to engagement and your diplomacy in handling these particular matters because it's already a very murky field. And you can do this. Look, sometimes, I don't want to say too much, but I have a relative who once headed an organization. There were people that were untouchables and not transferable. He played a smart game. He promoted all those guys first, set them up in meetings, and they sat in meetings and realized that much of the positions they have been given was being duplicated by junior officers. And their appraisal was like an open forum. So when they got to their turn to present, almost like they're coming to represent what everybody has said. In the end, after it went on about 3 or 4 times at assessment and appraisal meetings, they themselves tendered their resignation because they said they realized that they were just duplicating the rules of others and they had outlived their usefulness. Nobody sacked them; they just left on their own volition. But he played a master stroke. And these things is about being able to look at the system and then say, listen, Koko, I'm telling you this. This Mr. Butchie and Mr. Bampu will become the best of friends before this year ends. This matter will be resolved very, very, very nice. Mark my words. We'll come back and we'll say that this matter will be resolved very nice. Even the very fact that they couldn't get Mr. Butchie out of the place in spite of all their evil means that there are just some rough edges that needs to be smoothed. And when it is smoothed, best and best agency will run without any agent.
Right. I see. Is Mr. Bampo, Doc, is Mr. Bampo on some, if you like, because he started off, there was a long strike. This was just regarding the appointment of the said Mr. Samuel Adomboche, and he's back again with the issues. He just doesn't want him in, or is a case of what Reverend Nanaya was saying, that could be that these things are also true.
Yeah. So actually, I agree about, let me say 100% with everything that Rev is saying.
Okay.
You know, these things are bound to happen in almost every organization. And if you see here in Ghana and how sometimes our system is, when a new leadership comes and one is going, sometimes some of these issues really come up. And sometimes the one who comes first to speak on TV or on radio is the one that normally his issue goes viral and people talking and bashing the other side. But just like Rev was saying, sometimes we need to also listen to the other side of the coin. But for me, looking at the bigger picture, the government should come in and really stop this as soon as possible before it escalates and it disrupts government business and the things that the reset agenda for the nation. Of course, all these things are bound to happen. Somebody said, the problem is not a problem. The problem is how we solve the problem. That is a real problem. So now the problem has come. So how are we going to deal with it? I really pray that the government should come in and see to it that they just handle it quickly, fast enough, win-win solution, so that the organization and the, what do you call this one? The CLOSAC people can be able to move forward as people.
I see.
Because this is not the first time this thing coming up.
Let's see. Well, let's go to the next story, shall we? And Ghana has lost an estimated $11.4 billion in gold revenue due to widespread smuggling in the artisanal mining sector, with much of the illicit gold reportedly ending up in the United Arab Emirates, according to a report by Swiss non-profit Swiss Aid. The report released on 11th of June 2025, uncovered a trade gap of 229 metric tons between Ghana's officially declared gold exports and the corresponding imports reported by trading partners over a 5-year period. Most of the discrepancy points to Dubai as the destination of the smuggled gold. And this is what the head of the Sahel program at Germany's Conrad Foundation had to say. This is just a tip of the iceberg.
Wow.
And they also said hand carried. Well, so that's it. So basically, this is what I mean. It's no news. We've heard this before. What did we do with it? We had to wait until we got a gold board. But let me hear your thoughts quickly on this, Reverend Anayo.
Yeah, Kwaku, I don't even think it's the forming of the gold board that has brought this information. I mean, I'm just did a story on it. And then secondly, the gold board's existence is not going to stop this either. You see, it's just like a cocoa smuggling syndicate that goes on in our borders. Cocoa board is there. The problem is that, you see, the more we have a lot of human interface, you're going to have a lot of the corruption because people are compromisable. And you are dealing with a very high-end, high-value substance like gold. That's why cocaine is able to get through because it's high value. You understand? If you were trying to pass, they will be able to easily stop you because it's not really high value. You see? So when high-value things are being transacted, these are some of the things that happen. So I think that our enforcement agencies, our customs guys, the immigration guys at the airports, our custom guys and the Gakua people at the ports, and any other place by which these things are done, especially because the documentary revealed that a lot of the smuggling happens through our airports. Our airport. You see, we should be able to motivate our staff and heighten our security systems to ensure that these things don't go. I mean, look at the amount of money involved. That means that we didn't need to go to IMF or a bailout. We didn't need to. You see, and I think that we really have to step up our game. And not to chide anybody, but sometimes these Europeans also, I get upset at their hypocrisy because oftentimes when the smuggler is not coming to their country, that's when they turn out these reports. You see, when it's not coming to their country, then they turn out these reports. When it was coming to their country, including our artifacts and taking to go and put in their museums and their palaces, they didn't come up with any reports about how much billions they have lost. You understand? But that is not the substantive issue. I just feel that gold board or no gold board, the leakage is happening at the ports of entry and exit, and we must strengthen them. If we don't strengthen them and have officers that are very well motivated, that they put Ghana first, they will not compromise. I'm telling you, we can have 300 gold boards. This thing will be happening because of the human interface. I believe it's one of the reasons why the current government has decided that, for instance, in terms of human beings sitting at toll booths, they want to do the whole thing electronic. Because I knew of somebody who sat at the toll booth and built a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom house from the tools. So while they are human interfaces, we must reduce the human interfaces, be heavily reliant on the technology, electronic scanners, the CCTV cameras, anything else we can boost so that immediately you are approaching with this metal, something will be for us to see that this person is carrying something that has not been certified and given a necessary pass by the statutory authorities like the group board, and then we can deal with some of these unfortunate things.
Right. Thank you very much, Doc.
You remember that gold, a container full of gold, I think 12 of them or whatever, was arrested at the airport. And we were told that it was going to UAE. And there was even an allegation that it was even a man of God who was waiting in UAE for that. Just like Rev was saying, if you look at how much money that has always gone through some of these things and how much money we borrow from IMF, it gives the whites the audacity to disrespect and look down on us the way they do. And one time I think just last year, I was going to UAE. I used to go there from time to time. But this time in particular, they just delayed me unnecessarily. scanning my body, and I was laughing in my head because there's nothing. Until I was getting irritated, I was almost about to go there and tell her, please, I'm going back to my country. What's the big deal? And then finally they let me go. And later on, somebody was telling me that they were suspecting that maybe I was having some gold or something. That was the time I started investigating and finding out how gold are being smuggled from Ghana to UAE. That's awful. And I was talking with the guy. It's an Arabic guy. It's from UAE, from Abu Dhabi to be specific. And he was like, Justice, when we look at Africa, look at your country, and you look at us, and all the blessings you have gold, you have diamond, you have this. He mentioned so many of them. Then he said, us, we have just only oil. But look at how we have been able to develop our place. That if you are in UAE and you look at, I remember there's some houses that I used to see. After 2 years or so, I went there. Those houses were demolished and they were building. And I'm like, oh, wow, what happened? They said, oh, it's because the government do routine checks about houses. So if they see that the house have a certain issue that it's not fit for people to live in, they'll break it down and rebuild it for you. I'm like, what? That house, they are telling me that it's not fit for human being to live in. Oh, my goodness. And citizens living there, you don't have to work. You just receive, I think it's 6,000 dirham or so. Just there. If you are a native and you are there and even you decide to go to work, you can come home anytime you want to. And when they say these things, and some of us who are friends with some of them, they don't say it like how great their country. They say it to despise us. That you guys have everything. And look at your country. And look at us. Koku, I can tell you how many great people in this country, or big people, businessmen, doctors, men of God, who have their own houses in Dubai. How many? So many of them. When they go for vacation, they are not going to hotels. So they go and stay in their home house. Built it or bought it. When I was living at East Legon, there's one company, they will keep on coming and bother. Maybe you have experienced that. Maybe sometimes they keep on bothering you. Buying a house in Dubai. Buying a house in Dubai. I said, the money is just my tummy. I don't have money in the bank. You see? And I'm saying this to top up what Rev was saying, that Ghana, we have money. Africa, we have money. The problem is that it almost always goes to the wrong hand and make us suffer. $11 billion. Can we imagine what $11 billion could do? And that is the reason why I still think one way or the other, even though it wasn't the gold board who actually, found out or investigated that or whatnot, that I still believe that if the gold board will really do well, a currency would be strengthened, our economy will do well, because even just gold only, forget about even cocoa and oil and lithium that we are getting, forget about just only gold. We can make it. Africa, we are not. If you go to Congo, DRC, the richest country in the world, you go there and you see their place and you see the richest country in the world, you cry for Africa. What is wrong with us as people? I was with one very great man of God one time. We were there and he was saying, like, Osofo, look at this country, how rich they are. The whole world, it has been proven they are the richest country in the world. And yes, look at them. And he said, what is wrong with us as Africa? Maybe we need to get a Rev and his team. Maybe I can join him, I'll hold their bag and do some deliverance for the continent Africa. Because
the irony of the situation is that they go on diplomatic passports and for some of them use their private jets, while the ordinary person goes, who is not carrying the gold, and you are searched that way, embarrassed to some point and all of that. But they could go smoothly and still smuggle it and all of that. And so, just as you mentioned, I think monies have found their way into the wrong hands on this continent. A lot of young people are just looking for opportunities, just 0.0000001% of that money to better the lives of themselves and their family. And yet it is in the hands of many unintelligent people who have said they've gone to the best and best of schools, yet cannot produce anything. I laugh at them. I laugh at them all the time. They don't get my respect at all. You should see me when I see them. The disdain I look at them with, because I can tell that you are not intelligent just by the way you behave, just by the way you carry yourself, the output of your work, the output of your businesses, the number of people who can work for you for months and get paid a certain amount of money and all of that. Yet people just have little resource and they're able to maximize it. And
The sad thing is that in Africa or in Ghana, those are the people they respect.
Exactly, I don't.
Which is very, very sad.
I don't.
Which is very sad.
I don't.
And that's they will make statement like, why do I eat respect? Do I ride on respect?
That's right.
Do I own a respect? They don't care.
Yes.
And so they will do everything and get this money and enjoy it. And those people who can really do it, we despise them.
But a time is coming. A time is coming. A time is coming.
And now is.
Yes, a time is coming, and I believe it. I'm sure that it will happen in my generation before I pass.
Amen.
I leave the earth. It will surely happen in my generation. Let's do the final one. Your quick thoughts on the issues of. I don't know whether you monitored the vetting of the justices yesterday. Let me start off with you, Reverend Anayao. Your quick thoughts, your highlights, low moments, quickly before we wrap up.
I did, but not very closely. I was actually monitoring through the My Joy online portal because my day was a little packed. It was difficult to radio or television. But I think all well and good. You see, I have been quite impressed with these judges compared to previous ones because you could tell very clearly from some of their answers that these are not people who can easily to do a political hatchet job, actually. You know, listen to Justice Jerefe, and if you are JM and you are appointed in there, you can tremble. They seem to be very independent-minded, you know. That is a J or something like that, the one who says the patient doesn't say that the Chief Justice must act in the absence of the Vice President and the Speaker and the President of the jurisdiction, which actually is the true point of confusion. It was just a legal opinion that was expressed and has become an operating manual. You know, I mean, when you listen to like Chinese people, don't they think, I didn't afraid the president will withdraw, you are not the case. A lot of conviction there. The one with the northern side as Ombiri or something. I think the way he was very strong in defending the judiciary, that they are not necessarily corrupt. And the fact that when the unanimous decisions come, because we've always had issues with those unanimous decisions. And he explained that if unanimous decisions happen, it's not derogatory, you know, in nature to be seen and viewed that way. I mean, the way they spoke, you see men who, I don't want to use word this one, but maybe I should because I didn't express. They will be seen men that balls of steel, you know, and they cannot be trampled over. I reminded me so much of this vetting, you know, people who have real conviction and when they get it, think Ghana and the law and not which party and which individual put me there. So let's see how today's vetting also goes. But so far, I'll be very impressed. I'm very impressed.
I see. Interesting. Doc?
Yeah, I watched both Jamafe and also
Dominic
Dennis Dominic AJ.
Yes.
DDA. Yeah. I watched some things I picked. First, I didn't know Jamafe is that young. That was my first time seeing him on TV.
Oh, that was it.
He looks young.
You have not been in the country for long.
He's not that young, but he looks young. My first time I came to know, hear of him was during the Brazil thing, because at that time, Boga was just arrived.
Yes.
And my friend Lawyer Formoni was one of those who did this thing. So I thought well, he is old, but I didn't I think he has taken care of himself, because he was even talking about going to gym and doing. I said,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
now I understand. One of the things I learned, it looks like he had been coached how to conduct himself in front of Afonya Markins.
No, but that's how, if you know Justice Jamape very well.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because sometimes some of the questions will be a little bit irritating, but his demeanor will change, and by the camera he will look somewhere, then he will smile, then he'll comport himself. He keep on doing from time to time. So somebody or somewhere, and some of these things actually is also really taught when you go to interview on some of these things, and you know that some of the journalists can really piss you off. Sometimes somebody is there. In fact, with the Ashantis, when our king is talking and is angry, there's an appellation they say. People don't know. Actually, that appellation is actually telling the king that you are in front of people, you are, so please comport yourself, we beg you, something like that. And it went very well for him. Because, so in fact, somebody was with me and he said that, look, the way Afenyamaki is doing the thing, this man is going to punish him when he get anything. I said, no. He is doing his professional work. Let him do his professional work. And let also the nominee also do his answering. It went very well. He said something that I really love it, that we need to actually put timelines on things that go to court. I don't know if you heard that one. He said, like, for example, if in this criminal case, maximum or latest by maximum 3 months or something like that, it's supposed to be finished. You, the judge, no matter what, you need to finish it within that period of time. Because if it's not like that, some cases have been dragged for just way too long. Mm-hmm. Secondly, he also mentioned that it's important that we have more judges and more courts, so that some things will go well. And also the fact that not everything is going to Supreme Court. Everything goes to Supreme Court. We should also actually minimize that one. That one, I really love it. One thing that I didn't like, that I wish would have explained himself better, was with regards to the fact that
Faith and law.
Not faith and law. I wasn't there. That one is the other judge.
Yes.
That one I heard.
No, Justice J. The issue of the LGBTQ.
Yeah, I've not even talked about him yet.
Okay.
I'm still with him.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
And just maybe real quick. So one of the things that I like about Jamape was his state. What do you call this one? About the gender parity.
Okay.
That we shouldn't just. For that one, Koku, he said it, and I felt like there's cold water on me, because I don't like this affirmative action whereby, with the greatest of respect, some dummy woman, because it's a woman, we should get people who are qualified. That's what you were saying. The one that I didn't like was when he was one day he was asked about women who had a relationship with a side chick. The child comes, the man takes responsibility for the child. But what about the woman? He kept on dodging the thing. That when the case comes, then he will know what to do. Mm-hmm. But I really thought that he could have answered the thing.
Okay.
He could have answered the thing.
Okay.
For Sir DDA,
yes.
I enjoy his lectures, even in the vetting. He was giving history about this and that.
Exactly.
Of course, he made me also feel that indeed he's from Asante region with his L and R.
Don't do that.
For us, at least for me, okay, with my travels in Asia especially, I don't really see it as a problem. I see it as something that is directly connected to your tribe that you come in.
What are you talking about?
Accent.
Oh, no. I mean, from yesterday, you can clearly tell that it did not matter whether there was an R and L issue. That was pure knowledge oozing out from the man. Experience par excellence.
This is for DTV viewers to get this real quick.
Okay.
there was a competition
Okay.
between 3 people, the Ashantis, the Infantis, and the Airways,
Oh, my
who can pronounce well. And they decided to make it very easy. They are going to make it a song. And even the song, they are making it easier. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So they started with the Ashantis. And of course, you know our problem. The Plempe Courage and the Brown Blaze. So the Ashantis people can say, do, re, mi, fa, sol, ra, ti, do. Then the Infanti people said, hey, Asante phone and Brofo, they were born. Then it's okay, you Fanti people, you come. And if you know an Infante, Rev Bafuboni is watching. Hi, Rev.
Oh, so we have said it. You are Ashanti, he's a Fanti, I'm an
Infante people are very good with tutors.
That's right.
They like tilt. That's why Etil, Titi, Johnson, Simpson. So they called them and they started Zil, Remy, Fasil. So then they finished and they called Kwaku and his people to come and stand there. Standing they arranged, then all of a sudden they heard, Adore me, Hafa Hasolatino. So anyway, our viewers, thank you very much.
I see. Thank you. That was at a very high note. I don't know what the Reverend Bafuboni thought about that. I'm sure you're laughing. It's cracking you up at home, I guess. Rev.
Honestly, between Dr. Fiakubi and JM, I don't know who is funny.
I know. We need to create a competition for them both. Right. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Reverend Anaya Bafuboni. Is an architect by profession, of course, a man of God who pastors the Eagles Network International Ministries, of course. A development expert is Dr. Justice Apiakubi, also the Dean for Dominion Theological Seminary, and also a man of many cultures. We're grateful that you can join us. We wish you all the best. And thank you very much for beautifying our screens as always. We'll take a quick turn. When we come back, do stay with us.